Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and today I'm talking to my Capricorns. Hello to all my Capricorns. The way this reading is going to work is the first half is going to be checking in with your energy and the story behind that, and the second half of this video is going to be checking in with your energy with another person and the story behind that. This is mostly for my sun signs, but moon and rising are always welcomed. It's just about the message resonating. So let's get started checking in with your energy. Ooh, I love how contemplative this is. I can tell a big shift is going to be coming into your life. And my spirit guides are confirming this. And apparently, so are the cards. Yay, I love this. I just want to, it's funny. This is like, I feel like this is my unsung cause or something like that because of how I always campaign for the Tower card. But I just want to take a moment to, I always say this, I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times, but the Tower card is not bad at all. People love to view it as the scary card, but they're wrong. The Tower card is just about a huge unexpected change. But who says that change has to be bad? In fact, actually, I like to view this card as something is going to happen to shake up your daily schedule. But remember, when you start dating someone new, your daily schedule changes then, who you're talking to, how you go about living life because you want to make room for someone else. That's not necessarily a bad change. You know what I'm saying? And what we're going over today is not a bad change, but it is a significant change, and we love this for you. So let's talk about this contemplative energy over here. You are the King of Swords. You have mastered your mind, so to speak. You are smart from both what you've experienced, read, so on and so forth. But as you take on new challenges, new experiences, you're like really attuned with the logical part of your mind, and you can just kind of figure things out very quickly. It just feels seamless to you. But while you are the king of your mind, you want to get to that next level feeling. I guess you could say have more confidence in the fact that you are the king of your mind, or maybe more use this ability you have over your mind and mental state to help fix and complete another part of your life, another aspect, your emotional side, when we have the Nine of Wands. And this is like you contemplating how hard you've worked in life, but something's quite not finished and needs to be solved in order to fully use the benefits of being a master of your mind. You want to become the emperor. So that new mindset gets confirmed over here in the Ace of Swords. What's really cool about you being the master of your mind and this being a compliment is this is kind of a reminder of how you would like to handle this situation. You are able to not think one way. You can kind of chameleon-like and change how you view a perspective, situation, so on and so forth, in order to make whatever needs to happen work for you best, because you're that in control of the way you think. And that's what's essentially happening here. You want to recalibrate, what does happiness mean to you? And what kind of new mindset can bring you to that, where you can feel that consistently? In order to get to your mind, it looks like you've had to struggle and learn some hard lessons. And you're like, okay, cool, I've learned them. I'd like to now benefit from what I've learned. You know what I'm saying? And both enjoy just bliss and kind of almost getting to take a break from having to think and strategize, and then kind of merge the two, which is really beautiful. So that gets answered over here, and this is where the big shift and change comes from. Over here is the Ten of Wands. This is you kind of being like, okay, this is the last bit of my baggage. This is the stuff that I've got to figure out. I'm bringing it over to the house to look at all of it, figure it out, and rework it. How can I rework it? It can feel kind of intense. The Ten of Wands is a very tension-filled thing, but this is a reminder that you shouldn't view it as something that gives you tension and makes you feel overwhelmed, but see it as just like intense work of being like not letting it take advantage of you. Like, don't let the wands carry you, you carry the wands, so to speak. You know what I mean? But the main thing you're calibrating is over here in the Temperance card. And this is like the last piece of your puzzle. You think there's something new you need to learn, but in fact, you've learned everything. You just kind of need to bring it all together. The Temperance card is somebody who is balanced by their schedule, their emotions, how they interact with others. It's the right proportions at the right time is how I like to view this card. Often you'll hear me describe this card as like understanding what schedule works best for you. So for some people, it's, playing a lot of video games after work, and that makes them feel happy and centered, and that's fine. That to them is a healthy way of living their life, and that works. And for somebody else, they need to go home and run half an hour every day and then go to bed at a certain time, and that works for them. There's not one magical schedule, it's just figuring out what works for you, but it is understanding that maybe you need a little bit of this here and a little more of that there, because balance doesn't look just like an even amount of proportions around the plate. So you see what I'm saying? But the big thing I keep being told about is about energy. It looks like as you figure out and adjust that schedule and proportions, one last thing you're needing to work on is the balance of your energy. It doesn't mean that your energy is out of balance. It's just that if you can really get in tuned with that and kind of be giving it focus and always taking care of it, it's going to take you to that next sort of almost spiritual level with what you can do with your knowledge. It's like, think of it this way. It's like you're viewing knowledge and information and logic and the way you interact with others and situations on a third dimensional level. And this is by figuring out your energy, this is taking you essentially to the fifth dimensional level. Hold on one second. So sorry about that. Anyways, going back to what we were saying, I was interrupted for a moment. So anyways, as you figure out your energy, your schedule, your proportions, all that jazz, and figuring out how it can all beautifully work together, this gets taken from the interaction or the influence of Mars over the Tower card. This is about inner drive for action. How can you use the motivation you've used in the past and has gotten you this far and use it to now your benefit in reworking and fixing and kind of evening out that last bit? It's basically like a compliment saying like, you're doing a great job, but like, how can we go a little bit further? And this is going to be the thing that helps you figure out some stuff, enables you to have that new mindset, and then by realizing how everything can mix and fit together, this is you discovering what truly makes you happy and making that sort of a permanent state of being, which we love. So now let's look at your energy with somebody else. Oh, well, that's good. I'm just looking at the story behind it. Oh. Okay, well, let's get into this. So the Strength card can take on a couple different meanings. I'm going to share both because it just depends. In some cases, it talks about I'll just describe it as the sacral chakra. And this can feel like when the relationship is too focused on that part of the relationship, maybe it's too much and you just feel like you're being kind of ignored as a person and personality. And in other, oh my goodness. All right. Okay. That's intense. Anyways, the either it's too much or it's too little, and it can feel like it's a source of contention or feel like it's blocking and avoiding other things. In other cases, it's taking more of a metaphorical focus and feeling like viewing your partner as sort of the beast, and that it can feel like there's someone you need to either feel balance with by taming them, and sometimes it can feel like it gets out of control. It can work harmoniously. It's kind of like you're the beautiful complement to who they are, but right now things are a little like out of control. Now we do have the positive omen here in the Chariot card that everything's going to work out fine. You're going to overcome these issues. It's got a really positive end. In fact, we can view sort of, metaphorically, here's the beast, they're out of control. Here's you being like, I'm back in control. Okay, we're calming down. We're gonna work together to get to the end of this trip together. So over here in the Hermit in reverse, I get a little bit of a clue and indication, especially the interaction over here, about what's going on. Not only do I feel like both of those examples we used in the Strength card are valid in this situation, it feels like something where they go away and they come back, and they go away and they come back, and it's kind of overwhelming to experience, and it's really taken a toll on you. Now, we do have the confirmation in the Hermit card that they will come back, and that by them being away this time and coming back, they've figured out some stuff and what they need, and they're ready for a more open discussion to say, like, well, what do we want? Where do we stand? What's the long-term goal here? But in the High Priestess card, I love this for you, especially from where you've been. I'm going to come back to the High Priestess card and explain that in one moment into the interaction with this, but let's talk about this over here. So this, unfortunately, in the Seven of Wands shows sort of a personality that you just feel like you're so worn out that it's easy to feel like you're being walked all over or taken advantage of. It's a super uncomfortable feeling, and I just feel for you. But it's because of the grief you've experienced, the sense of loss. Now, this sense of loss could have been outside of the current situation you've experienced, but when you have that sort of like they go away energy and feel like they're pulling away from you and then they're back and it's too much, it can feel like that sense of grief, and it can be very overwhelming, and it's taken a toll on you where you just can't feel like you can't fight for yourself or the relationship as much. So you're letting them get away with more rather than having a conversation where you're saying like, listen, I don't like this. This isn't cool anymore. Now, most of this can be explained over here in the King of Wands. First of all, this is someone who's super charismatic. They seem like they just know the right thing to say to you and kind of get their way. But it's a proper way to understand why they are the way they are. Why are they taking on the personality of the beast? Well, when it's a King of Wands in reverse type of situation, this is somebody who's got like way too much energy and they just don't know where to go with it or what to do. So it can kind of come out maybe not in the best of ways, or they're not sure which direction. So you're just as you're confused and thinking, what are they trying to say? Where are we going? And they're basically saying in so many words subconsciously, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I want. I'm all over the place. I don't know what to do. And so it gets expressed again through the Strength card and the sacral chakra kind of concept popping up. And so that sort of energy is very intense to take on, which then makes it feel like you're being run down. And because of what you've experienced with the back and forth, where the grief, it's like coming at you at both ends. And that is exhausting. But here's the cool thing. During the time where they're away, guess what? You evolve. And I am so pumped for you about this. The High Priestess card is saying that you guys are ready to have an open discussion, open-hearted discussion, but it's a compliment to you. This is somebody who's like in tune with herself and has really good intuition and knows how to say, you know what, this is who I am, this is what I want. I feel confident about that. I'm able to express it easily, let my partner know what it is and how I'd like things to go, and then in turn from there, I'm not afraid of the consequences if things don't work out. But because there's such confidence and empowerment behind it, it definitely is your way of kind of like, the thing that's interesting in the Strength card is it's not about you also becoming, a predator or a beast yourself. It's about showing the beast like you will not be intimidated. And this is you and your confidence and your inner sense of empowerment coming through. So essentially, yes, things are going to totally work out. There's a chance to discuss things, get things worked out. It's an understanding that they're not trying to manipulate you. They're not trying to hurt you. They're just kind of a little bit pulled all over the place themselves, and it's not fun for them to experience either. That doesn't mean it's right what you've personally had to deal with because of them, but it's about getting everything sorted out and them having been a better person by also getting some time and figuring out what they want in order to come back together. So, yay! Very cool! If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next one. And yeah, have a lovely day. Bye!